misperceptions around the Common Core. And that's part of what we're here to do tonight, is to really talk about what it is and maybe what it isn't. The General Assembly recently established a study committee on the Common Core, and the question is, are you supportive of this, and what kind of issues should they be looking at? We'll start with Mr. Falconberry.
Some of the concerns that we've had is the implementation, the costs, all the rumors out there about data collection. I hope they do address that so that there can be that can be put aside. But also the control factor. I want to get back to that. The Lieutenant Governor had the opportunity to address the study committee last week, and he asked that we bring back the Standards and Accountability Commission that we had with our previous standards. There's a commission of North Carolinians who looked at standards, and they sometimes reviewed every 2 to 5 years, and they said, what's best for North Carolina? Again, because Common Core is copyrighted and with 2 other organizations, we can't really be nimble if we need to be nimble in this state. Now, we can add, we can subtract, we can add, I think you advised that we not subtract at the study committee, but the issue is even if we add every single standard that we'd ever want for our children, if we're going to one day do one of the consortium tests of Smarter Balance or Park, really whatever's under that copyright of Common Core is what's going to be on that test. So if we're going to go that route, it doesn't make sense to add a bunch more standards to it. So we need to be able to take these standards, work within them, and see if they're great, then let's keep every single one of them. But let's let North Carolinians have that opportunity. And I think that's with the study committee. Yes. So good.
I, like Jamie, support having the General Assembly Common Core Committee, and here are the reasons why. In my work in the Department of Public Instruction, I've had the responsibility of leading the revision of the standard course of study at least 4 times. And in the past, it has been a struggle when we have had any type of public meeting that we would have 1 or 2 people pay attention or come to the meetings. So to me, it is positive for North Carolina that we have involvement from people who are affected by the standards, and that would be practically everybody in North Carolina. I also agree with Jamie about the whole notion of having a Standards and Accountability Commission. When we had that commission in the 2007-2008, we really developed a framework to move us forward over the next, starting in 2009. It really was a framework to move us forward to making sure that our kids can compete with kids, anybody from any state, anywhere, anytime, and also can compete with and collaborate with people from other countries. So we all should be concerned about standards. The other thing that I have learned along the way in my experience in helping to write standards is there's absolutely no such thing as a perfect standard. If it is, I would like for it to show up one day. And I know in the 4 times that I've been involved in revision of the standards, when they're printed, heaven only knows the next day that we can find ways to improve them. So standards development has to be a live process. You don't want to have a system in place where you never go about revising them. However, I have heard during the times that we've done the revision, please, would you just stick to some standards so that we can have some continuity? And so we'll know we're not always changing. And Jamie brought up a really good point about the cost. You know, I said earlier, we didn't have any money to do the professional development. We had our essential standards, which includes all the subject areas minus math and English language arts. We had those standards plus the Common Core, and we knew that it was time that we need to have a concentrated effort of professional development for our teachers. And so Race to the Top provided us those dollars. And we have spent as a state $22 million to get to the 2nd year of implementation of the Common Core standards, as well as the other standards in science, career technical education, healthful living. And local school districts, through the Race to the Top, have spent $44 million. So I know that sounds like a lot of money, but when you look at how much money is spent in education, it is a lot of money. And it is money that has been directed to helping the teacher in the classroom do a great job in teaching our children about how to be successful.
Thank you. And, you know, we hear a lot about